All right, and we are live. How's it going, guys? How's everybody doing? Today I'm going to be learning about Jenkins, or at least that's what the plan is. See how it goes. Alright, I don't really think that's going to be giving anything major away. Alright, so this is what we're going to be doing today. So I'm doing this assignment for school. Basically just got to set up some project that uses a server, run it on Jenkins. I'm pretty sure is pretty much the only requirement, as well as using GitLab's equivalent to GitHub Actions or something like that. Yeah, we'll see how this goes. Either you can't kill screen key like that. Are you kidding me? There we go. There we go. What's CICD? Continuous integration and continuous deployment, I'm pretty sure is where the acronym comes from. So it's basically like it's like most of this would be done by like a sysadmin, but obviously in some cases if you're working solo, you don't have like a sysadmin and you're doing it all yourself, then you wouldn't have access to anybody to do this for you. But the way that it works is it's basically making it so that way you can like continuously have tests going. So you can have tests on like a pull request, for example, on GitHub, having a test run on every commit that's put into your repo, that sort of stuff. So that's kind of how it works. And there's a lot more to it than just that, but I'm no expert on it, which is why I'm doing an assignment on it. And don't really need that bar. I'm logged into everything. I can turn my screen key back on. So one thing that's not great about screen key, it'd be nice. I wonder if there's a way to like toggle that, like have it just not show what you're typing for a little bit. I wonder if I can bind that to something. Probably. That's something I should do. I'll add that. There we go. I'll do that after the stream. No problem. Alright. So, we're just Just got it started up. Okay. There's gonna be a lot of like me not having much to say as I try to figure this out, so feel free to like ask questions and stuff. Don't worry about interrupting my workflow because I never expect these streams to be very productive. My like ADD just kicks in like crazy whenever people are around anyways. You ever have like that like I don't know if any of you guys have ever done like any live performances, but it's like whenever you're live you have like such a hard time remembering what you were doing. Or like you start saying something, like I'm trying to think of like a good example. Like for example, when you start like saying a sentence and then by the end of the sentence you've been like thinking about so many things in the back of your head that you like forget what you were originally talking about. I find that I do that all the time on these streams. People like ask me a question, I'll start answering it and then I'll lose my train of thought and I'll just like completely veer into a completely different direction. Alright. It's probably pretty hard to see for you guys. I really need to add a oh wait. I gotta automate more of my streaming setup. I haven't really gone about doing it just because I haven't done too many streams yet, but it is what it is. Ironically, like considering that this is a whole assignment on this, they like literally gave us like no, like you'd think this would be like something you do in a lab, but no, they're just like figure it out, which is I guess like pretty fair, but like, you know, when you're paying money for it, kind of sucks. Yeah, it's like when I talk to my mates on Signal. Yeah, exactly. That's like the same sort of thing. I didn't really know Signal has voice chat. Okay, I think I can turn my screen key back on. Oh. I had new settings for screen key that I set up a while ago. I always forget to I forgot to map them or anything, so now I have to manually enable them every time. Actually, I had no idea that Signal had this. Huh. That's so sweet. I'll have to give it a try. Yeah, all I knew of before this was Jitsi. Yeah, I do the exact same thing. I'm like, especially like last semester at school, I was like in a voice chat for like a study group and literally like none of us were productive at all. I pretty much did less studying. I feel like I maybe learned less. Oh, nice. I wasn't too sure if that would pass through to this VM, but I guess it does. That's sweet. Okay. Where did I put that? Oh, it's literally just another tab. I guess I need to learn how GitLab does their. I guess I need to learn how GitLab does their continuous integration setup, because I actually have no idea how it works here. I assume it's probably pretty similar to how GitHub actions work, since GitLab kind of just seems to just do whatever they do, which I don't mind too much. Do whatever they want, I guess. Sorry about that. A bit tired. Just woke up. Not really just woke up, but woke up pretty recently. Building integration, that's not what. That's kind of a disappointment. Yeah. I haven't really tried out Jitsi through Matrix or Element or any of that sort of stuff, which is kind of disappointing. What am I looking for? I need... There we go. This is the docs that we want. Why is it always gotta have a video? Alright, well hopefully GitLab doesn't get angry at me for watching their video on the stream. Just gonna play it back as fast as possible.
Let's go ahead and configure our CICD. You can see we've got two buttons here. One is to set up CI, the other is to set up auto deploy. We're going to go ahead and pick the auto deploy section. With this, we give you a few great templates to go ahead and get started with that work for a pretty large number of folks out of the box. What they do is
Give you a large selection of templates. They just gave you two.
what they do is they leverage some build packs that generally know how to build and deploy various types of projects, of which Ruby is one. And so some of the details of how to build these things is kind of removed. And we have instead 5 simple stages: build, test, review, and we'll go through and we'll follow these as part of our CI/CD pipeline. So let's go ahead and let's commit the changes. We'll commit them directly to master because we want to configure our CI/CD system. And again, this file is how you go ahead and do that. And there we go. So we've now committed our CI YAML file, and we've told the system what to do with commits and how to kind of run them. And you can see actually we have our first pipeline already kicked off because we now made a change to our repository. And you can see here we've got 3 stages: build, staging, and this is off the master branch. And you can see build's already completed. Let's go ahead and take a look at what happened there. The first thing we did is we pulled down that Ruby Docker image that we specified. We then added our Ruby file, and we then simply repackaged that and moved it to our own GitLab container registry. And that was quite simply the build stage.
Okay, so that doesn't seem too bad. It seems pretty similar to what you'd get with GitHub. You guys have that experience? I guess, Aiden, you're the only one talking in the chat, so I guess I don't know if you've done any. You probably haven't done something like this before if you didn't know what CICD was, but it's not too bad on GitHub. Using the tools that they have, they're pretty nice. I haven't done too much of it. Honestly, ironically, I don't know if you guys have watched a lot of my content, but a lot of my content is on like Trough and Groff. And ironically, I've like tried using these continuous integration, continuous deployment tools with Trough just as like an idea, just to try things out, because I've been thinking of making macros that would work on like a bunch of different languages. I tried to see if it would be possible to like basically set up a pipeline like this where I could like automate all that sort of stuff with a this is exactly what I was talking about, where I start saying something and then I forget where I was talking about. But where I like talking about what was I gonna say? Oh yeah, where I would set up like a way to automate testing it on like, so for example, there's pretty much 3 major Trough implementations. So there's Heirloom Trough, Knee Trough, and Groff. And so the idea would be to have a pipeline that would test it on all 3 of them and make sure that it produced what we were expecting. That's kind of what I was thinking of doing, but I never really got around to it. I mostly just stuck with this. Never felt like going through all that. Love your videos on Groff. That's good to hear. There's not a huge market for them, so they some of them do like pretty alright, but all the ones that are like very Groff related, those ones don't do too great. Like yesterday, I released a video on like on setting up fonts, and that's doing pretty good. But I think like the only reason it's doing like okay is because what's it called? It's Sorry, I'm just listening to this audio. The only reason that I think that video is like doing all right is just because I have more subscribers now than I did before. But I can't imagine that there's a lot of people looking for installing fonts in Groff in general, outside of people that use it. But I don't think there's that many people using it. Actually, speaking of the like new, what was that? Oh, he's just changing a Ruby file. Speaking of that, of the other kinds of yeah, speaking of the other kinds of trough files that I've, the other trough implementations that exist, I'll probably be doing some videos on heirloom trough and knee trough. The biggest issue is trying to explain the advantages they have, because like a lot of people probably wouldn't understand the advantages until they've reached the issues that you run into with Groff. But yeah, so that's why most of my videos are like Groff related. Also because Groff will get just like tons more search results for me than Trough will. Searching Trough brings up just so much. Have you programmed any hardware in Arch? What kind of tools did you use? Is it easy as a beginner? Have you programmed any hardware in Arch? I'm not too sure what you mean by have I done like embedded systems programming on Arch? Sadly, I haven't really done very much on Arch when it comes to embedded systems. Most of my embedded systems work was done either in a lab at school, which is on Windows, or on my computer before I was running Linux. So for the most part, the only stuff that I've done on Arch was using, I'm trying to remember. It was like mostly just on an STM32, but I'm trying to remember what the name of all the tools were because it's been such a while since I worked on it. It was all, oh wait, no, never mind. I didn't do that on STM32. I did it on a, one of like the last Atmega chip. I don't know if you guys have any idea what I'm talking about when I'm saying these chips, but it's, I did it on like an Atmega chip. So I used like Atmel, like I set up for that, and I used AVR dude, is that what it's called? Actually, here, I'll give you a way better, if you're a beginner, I think like the best thing that's out there for doing it, sorry, I've been jumping all over the place because I was trying to remember, but Platformio, let's see if that's right. Is this gonna still be what I think it is? God, everybody loves to buy domains. Platformio. Okay, platformio.org is what I'm looking for. Yeah, so if you're interested in doing like embedded systems and stuff and you're a beginner, I'd recommend looking at Platformio. There's a lot of stuff in here and it kind of simplifies the process. I don't know how much experience you really have with it, but like it is just, especially when it comes to like working with like, I don't know, it's just a mess trying to work with different hardware. Like most of my work has been with STM32 boards, which are, as far as I know, the most user-friendly boards that exist. Like I guess you could argue that some of the Atmel boards that like work with like an Arduino, for those of you guys that know what an Arduino is, are pretty decent, but yeah, one sec. I just realized that the audio's not making any noise. Is there music playing? Oh, there we go. Alright. Sorry about that. Yeah, I don't know how experienced you are with embedded systems, but for the most part, Platformio is probably the best place to start. It basically it gives you a nice starting ground for working with different platforms, and I find that a lot more times it's easier to transfer from board to board. But yeah, like right now it's still kind of a mess trying to go from one board to another. But this should get you started. There's actually a plugin if you use VS Code. I haven't used the plugin. I don't even know if the command line version of this is still fully supported anymore, because I've heard that they've moved a lot of that just to being completely VS Code related. Yeah, even here they're showing like VS Code and everything like that. But, oh, there you go. So it looks like you can actually still use the CLI tools, which is what I used initially. But I didn't do too much work. Most of my work that I did through Platformio, let me see if I can find a link to what I had. GitHub. I think it's on my front page for my GitHub page, but it's not really anything too crazy, to be honest. Just give me a sec. Sorry, I always forget that clicks on the audio sound unbelievably terrible on the other end. Alright, right, here we go. Okay, here's something I made with Platformio, but this is like pretty simple. Also just using like an Arduino board, so that one's not really anything too special. I actually was looking for installing Podsync graphics per time video for me. Yeah, Sus McNugget. Dude, there's so many people that have been asking me to make that video, so I'm happy I finally made it. For a long time, I don't know if any of you guys have like looked into the documentation on installing like just any font without using that script, but I spent like forever trying to get that stuff working, and yeah. I've been thinking about getting embedded systems recently. Yeah, I think Platformio is a pretty good starting point. I'm pretty sure it's completely open source actually too. I'm realizing this placement for this was not a good choice because now it's like just right over my search box. Actually, maybe if I just... That's pretty small. Let's not do that. I could just make this a floating window, I guess. You can't even really see it anyways, whatever. Alright. Yeah, anyways. Platformio is a pretty good place to get started. Oh, there you go. Yeah, it's open source. It's on GitHub. I don't know what license it's under, actually. Let's check this license out. It is under Apache license, okay. So a pretty reasonable license, I don't know. I feel like it would be kind of hard to do an embedded systems related project without it being fairly lenient. Oh, excuse me. I think it'd be hard to do an embedded systems project without it being fairly lenient, just because pretty much everything embedded systems is so rarely open source. Okay, anyways, back to what I was doing earlier.
And in this case, our build has already succeeded. That's great. And you can see we now have a review stage that's now happening. And what happens here is, because this is a feature branch, right, and we haven't actually committed our changes back into master, which is kind of like the normally in this case, it's a big challenge for other users to see my changes, right? Wait until perhaps I get to the stage and have this actually emerge before I could finish them off the product or QA or whatever. But with CICD now,
I'm multitasking. Trying to let other people know that I'm live right now. Alright. And by multitasking, I mean being less productive, because really that's all it really is. I don't know if you guys have ever heard like that that thing that like humans can naturally never be multitaskers. We're just like switching contexts in our head. It is very similar to the... Okay, let's see how we set this up. Let's just set up like a pretty simple pipeline. The big thing for this is that I do have like one issue with this assignment, so I'm open to suggestions on this from you guys if you have any. Is that I have to do languages that are supported by... Not Travis CI, it's Jenkins. Yeah, Jenkins. So that means that I have to do Java, which I don't have any web-based, like server-based Java apps or Ruby-based, because just because of like the way my degree turned out, I ended up doing like all of my applications like that done in C and C++. So instead I have to do like an open source project. So if anybody has any recommendations, I'm pretty open to it. I was thinking of trying to do one that uses Go, just because I feel like Go is pretty concise, and I could be able to figure out most of this stuff, especially like the way that tests work is like standardized in Go versus, I don't know if that's a thing in Python. I know it's not a thing in Java. There's a few different frameworks for unit testing. I don't even want to look at trying to do this in Node.js because I feel like I am pretty trash at it. And obviously I'm not going to do Ruby, not going to do PHP, because I just don't know those languages. If you guys have any suggestions of an open source project that you think would be good for this, like basically meets the requirement of it runs as a server app and it has a unit test system built in, let me know. Right now I'm thinking of doing Podsync. Which for those of you guys interested, actually, because I think you'll probably find this pretty interesting, basically gives you a way to make an RSS feed from a YouTube channel. So you could even make one from this channel. If you didn't, that'd be nice, because I think this technically doesn't really help out views and stuff. But that being said, I don't really blame you guys if you do go this route, because, you know, it's convenient. But I always appreciate the support. I also make videos on super niche things, so every view counts when there's like maybe 100 people interested in it. Yeah, but this is what I was planning on doing it with, and the main thing that I wasn't too sure about though was what its unit testing setup looked like, because I haven't actually really done much Go work. But yeah, so I think this is the general way that you do it: is you do _ tests to say that it's a test file for this file. So this, in theory, is what we're looking for. We'll see how well this goes, because I've never actually set this up. I used to like I haven't Patreon supported this guy just because I've been a bit short on money, and I can't really run this on. I haven't been able to run this on a server yet. Haven't really had time to set it up. So what better time than for a class? Best of both worlds. Anyways, I guess I don't need to look at Platformio. Like I said before though, check out Platformio if you guys are interested. Really cool project. Actually, also, if you guys are interested in embedded systems, you I don't think I have it. I haven't transferred this over because I don't really listen to it much anymore. For those of you guys that that want a good podcast for embedded systems, I highly recommend this one. That's just an RSS feed for it. But I think it's like embedded.io is what their website is. I don't know, something like that. But I highly recommend it. Great podcast. For embedded systems, at least. I don't know how nice you guys will find it as Linux users. Okay, sorry, I'm being like super unproductive on this. Mostly just because I'm like not completely sure how to go about starting this. Need to sign in before continuing. Yes, sign in. Oh, I don't want to have to kill screen key again. Yeah, I should really automate this. Oh dear. Okay. I know I should be able to do that without looking down, but I'm still like not used to where the numbers are on this keyboard that I'm using. I recently assignment notes. Everybody's quiet in the chat. Clearly the embedded systems talk scared everybody away. or just the lack of Linux related content. I don't know. Okay, well this is not anything special. I don't know if this is like what all of them. Yeah, I don't know why that's in here, but whatever. Is this set? I kind of hate how like GitLab lays everything out. I don't know. How do you guys feel about GitLab? Let me know what you guys think about GitLab. What do you guys think about GitHub? What do you guys think about SourceHut? I don't know if you guys know what SourceHut is. I've been trying that out a bit, storing some of my code there just because I like the idea behind it, but I haven't made the commit of just switching over to it, mostly just because I feel like GitHub's just more user friendly for people that wanna work on things. Oh my goodness, sorry. About GitHub and GitLab, you're interested to hear what I have to say. I don't really have too much to say for the most part. Honestly, the way that I think of it is like, I guess like, if you don't really know too much about it, I guess I can give you a bit of background. I won't go too in depth, obviously, but GitLab, the big thing that GitLab has on, well, I guess like the big one that got really popular was GitHub, but now GitHub is owned by, sorry, somebody was just looking into my car outside. Yeah, I think GitLab's like okay. My biggest problem with GitLab like itself is that using their website, you can't look at repositories unless you create an account, which some would say like, oh, but you can't make an issue post or anything like that if you don't have a GitHub account. But like the issue is that like I don't mind not being able to post an issue if I can like email the maintainer and stuff, but if I can't look at the code, then what am I supposed to do? I have to make an account, which is just annoying. And then there's stuff like they'll ask you to connect your GitHub account, but then you connect your GitHub account and then they still need you to make an account. It's silly. I don't really mind that it's a Microsoft thing. The thing is that like I feel like to be fair, in some ways Microsoft deserves all the hate that it gets. But I think like the big thing with Microsoft, in my opinion, is that Microsoft is just such a big company and there's so many people working in it that it's so hard to really say like Microsoft itself is the problem. Like a lot of times the problems come from like higher ups and stuff like that are making calls that people disagree with. But I think like there's definitely people in Microsoft that seem like genuinely good people and actually do legitimately, like as they love to say, like love open source and love Linux and stuff like that. There are people in the company that I completely believe feel that way. And there's obviously like, there's portions of the company that you can tell don't care, but those portions are becoming smaller and smaller obviously as time goes on. So I don't really mind when things are like made by Microsoft. Plus like there are parts of Microsoft that I'm not really into. But honestly, there are like worse companies out there that we use their tools all the time. Like I have to use, well, I guess I don't really have to use it anymore, but I used to have to use WhatsApp all the time for work, but now I don't anymore because I'm fun employed as a student. Okay. Anyways, let's get started. I'm kind of just rambling on for no reason. So I guess let's try and just see how this CI thing works on GitLab. Blank project. Run the CICD for an external repository. That sounds like what we're looking for. Connect your external repository. If using GitHub. Oh, I'm nervous now. That's pretty fair. I think like I try not to host anything private on GitHub, because I think that's totally reasonable. Like the big thing about not trusting GitHub, in my opinion, that I think makes sense is like trusting them with private stuff, because at this current point they're giving you so much for free that it is reasonable to think, okay, they're definitely harvesting a lot of information out of this, and how much of that information they're harvesting that they're just leaving available for anyone to look at is a bit nerve-wracking. Like I don't worry as much about, and this is just my personal thoughts on it, is that I don't really worry as much about the idea of my data being sold to people. I'm more worried about them having my, I just shook my screen. I'm more worried about them having my data to begin with. I don't want them to get hacked into and someone to steal that data. And then obviously them selling my data means that more people have my data, and then that data can get stolen and stuff like that. But that's the big thing for me, is that I don't want my stuff just sitting around unencrypted so that way someone can take it. Because those are that's like the issue, is that like a lot of these companies that are taking your data are using your data to like create marketing profiles on you and stuff like that. But like when someone takes your data and intends to use it for malicious purposes, that's when I'm like, that's not okay. That's what I don't want. That's when I don't, like, I obviously don't want them taking my data to begin with, but I get more nervous on that thought than them just having my data. Especially at this point now, because now I'm literally just putting my face on YouTube. I say my name all the time. You guys could probably find out tons of stuff about me, so there's not really too much point in trying to hide a lot of my stuff at this point. But that being said, I know that that's like kind of like a cliche thing. Everybody says, oh, like they have my data anyways, what's the point of hiding it? And I totally think that that is silly, but there's kind of a limitation to how much I can try and hide now that I make content on YouTube. But yeah, anyways, that was kind of a rant, but yeah, anyways, the big thing that I was going to say was that I don't recommend, for those of you that are nervous about Microsoft, I don't recommend putting private repos on there. I keep I guess I shouldn't say where I keep all my private repos, because then that paints a target on my back, but I don't keep them on GitHub. Personally, that's just my view on the situation. But I do keep pretty much everything that I have public, I put on GitHub, because that's where the most people are. If people need to search for information, they'll probably search from GitHub. So that's kind of why I do it. That's also the reason that I use I use GitHub sponsors, because it is great. It seems like a great program. It encourages people to support open source projects. If you guys don't know what GitHub sponsors is, I highly recommend looking into it. There's a lot of really great programmers that use it. I've donated quite a few times to the Qt browser project through GitHub sponsors, so I highly recommend, if you guys want to support programmers, go through the GitHub sponsors program. Yeah, it's all fun and games until someone in the stream starts listing people's address. Yeah, like I feel like hiding where I live is like, I don't know. Like I try not to say too much about where I live, but honestly, like I'm both not famous enough to be able to mislead people and say that I'm living somewhere else, because I feel like that's pretty difficult to try and fake, and I'm also not, like I've also given up too much information to be able to hide where I live now. Maybe in the future, when I move soon, I'll be able to hide it, but I've also mentioned where I'm moving to in a stream, I'm pretty sure, so that's not really gonna help. But yeah, anyways, okay, I gotta see how this works. So let's just see personal access token. Okay, no, never mind. We don't want to be doing this. This was a bad call. Let's go. Okay, let's try just creating a template. I don't really know how much of a template I really need. This is one of those things that I'm like, oh man, I really wish I had a lab so I'm not just going into this blind, because like at least when I'm like just trying to work with like an API or something, they just have like one set of documentation. But now that I'm trying to learn like multiple things, I'm not really too sure where I should be starting. But maybe I'm just crazy. The one thing that I do like about GitLab is that you can self-host, but honestly, if I was going to self-host, I'd probably just I'd probably not go this route. I'd probably go with a what was I gonna say? Oh my goodness. Oh. Excuse me, guys. I don't know why I'm yawning so much. It's contagious to myself. If I was gonna go self-hosted, I'd probably just go with Source Hut. Sure, whatever. Let's just leave this private for now. It doesn't really matter. Yeah, exactly. Like hiding stuff like stuff like finding out my email is like not really worth. Oh, maybe I should have just started with a blank project now. I'm realizing. I have a feeling, considering how long this is taking, that it's going to be a really big template. Okay, I'm regretting this. Let's just... Oh, I feel silly being like, oh, I'm going to create this repository and then immediately delete it, but... Oh. Okay, was that just the whole template? Okay, well that's fine by me. Oh, alright. So we've got this. Now I guess I'm gonna... Okay, I think I'm getting how I'm supposed to approach this now, actually. Because like the thing is that I was like, at least when it was like my sort of project, it wouldn't be that big of a deal. But I guess, oh. So yeah, I think the idea of how we're supposed to do this is then we do... Oh, actually... Yeah. Also Gidia. Is that what it's called? Gidia? I think something like that. Seems like another really good option for self-hosting too. Seems to go more of like the GitHub route. I don't know what's with me. It's all this talking. This quarantine's been going on for so long, I'm forgetting how tiring it is to talk, maybe. I'm in like double quarantine now because my granddad recently tested positive for COVID, so I have to quarantine myself. Oh jeez. Oh. Migrating from green. I'm a little lost on like why we would use Jenkins if... Like, does this replace Jenkins? Yeah, it looks like it's supposed to replace Jenkins, so I don't really get the idea behind it. I guess like instead of doing this sort of stuff, we would just run Jenkins instead. Kind of the idea. I've seen like people using Travis CI. That's the one that I know, but I've never really seen anybody use Jenkins before, but it seems like it's pretty popular. Okay, well, let's just go ahead and... Oh yeah, I'm sure, I have a feeling my granddad will be all good. He's like in his 90s, but he's a machine. I remember he fell off his bike like forever ago. Like probably like 5 years ago. And they looked at his charts and they thought it was for the wrong person because his immune system, because they were like, oh, like this is obviously like some guy in his 30s based on his charts, but he was actually just my granddad because he's a machine. At least that's what we're hoping. Oh, okay, so I have to log in all the time. Okay, no. Oh, I guess because it's a private repo. That was silly. Okay. Sorry guys, just doing something in the background really quick. Okay, sorry, got a bit distracted. Let's turn that screen key back on. I have a feeling I will not need that for a bit, or I'll need it for a bit. Okay, so I've got this guy. I guess you just change the upstream. Okay, well let's just. Okay. And then this was kind of a silly way to do this, I'm realizing now, but whatever. We'll just because in theory I probably could have just changed the upstream. In fact, maybe that's what I'll do. I don't know if that'll work. I don't really know how this ends up turning out. I don't think I've done something like this before, the way that I'm doing it. Get there we go. Yeah, okay, it's called origin. And then that's not what I want. I want. I see the issue. Okay, well, whatever. I'll just do this the bad practice way and just copy all the files because I don't know, I'm being lazy, I guess. Oh, there's probably a hidden file that I didn't copy. Now I'm thinking of it. Docker ignore, git ignore. Golang CI. I have a feeling I'm gonna regret this approach, but oh well. Hopefully this works fine. I guess I could have just done. Gonna make me log in? No. All right. Now back to here. Let's just reload it. Okay. We've got our base set up. Okay, and then I think oh, there's a PDF that comes with this. Okay, this makes a lot more sense. I was like, how am I... Are they just expecting me to like get all this? Okay. Oh. Huh. Well, that makes this a bit easier. I'm waiting for me to accidentally show my password on this stream. It's just to set up CICD, which is kind of boring, but I think this is just the first part. So I think in the future we're supposed to add features to it, which then I guess I'll make a pull request to the original project if the feature is actually useful. If it's not useful, then probably won't, but who knows? Who knows what's really useful in the end? Oh my god, I gotta kill. It's a pretty, I think most, like, they probably would have us add a feature or something like that if it wasn't for the fact that the, they literally just gave us, like, no background for this besides this. Okay, well, let's go ahead and give this a try. Using a VM in a browser like this is super weird. But I probably could SSH into it if I figured out what they had the SSH set up for. Actually, they might not. I have a feeling they would. Who knows? Okay, and then we just needed to run. This seems super sketch. Oh my goodness. Gotta kill it again. So they want us to run this as sudo, but they don't give us the ability to... Am I just like blind? Time to see if somebody else knows what I'm missing. Okay, time to ask people at my university now, see if they know what the I'm not seeing them say anything about sudo. I'm not really seeing anything. The heck? Okay. This is just kind of silly. Well, I guess they do say if you run into an error, run this command, so let's just try it out, I guess. Oh, what? Oh wait, we have to do... No? I like logged into the wrong... I think I'm in the right one. Huh. Oh, well, these instructions are not helping me too much. Oh, whoops. What a goofball I am. If it lets me, oh. Oh, I see the issue. I think. So wait, so we log in under. Not what I want. Okay, I see the issue. I logged in under the wrong username. Silly me. So I guess we'll just log out. It's not a very action-packed stream, so feel free to ask me any questions or anything like that. Log out. It's really small. See if it fixes itself. Let's just close that one. Okay. I don't know how I like end this VM, but whatever. We'll just go back to the link that they give us. It kind of depends on your setup for continuous integration and continuous development and stuff like that. The idea of like how you'd do it is you'd like have like some tests run. I don't know if you've done much with like unit testing, but the idea behind it would just be to do stuff like your basic unit testing would just run on every commit, but some things aren't very necessary for like every commit. Maybe stuff like to test a release, but pretty often the idea would be to just test on every commit to do that. But instead of having to worry about like the actual programmers having to worry about it, they can just find the issue as soon as it's committed to the code. That way it doesn't come up later. But obviously the software developers would still have to run their tests themselves, but this way it prevents anything from getting into the main code base without being tested. It's kind of the idea of it. So you wouldn't run it unless there's been a commit, is kind of the idea of it. But there's obviously very complex setups that you can have, and that's why sysadmins exist, obviously. It's for organizing those complex workflows and stuff, or people that are in like DevOps would be doing that sort of stuff too. If I'm just, what am I doing wrong? This seems like this should be like super simple. I'm probably just being, you know what I was saying before, like being brain dead on stream. VMs. Like, what is going on? I'm logging in with the password and username that they say to do. Okay, maybe I'm misunderstanding. They actually want us to do. Okay, I think I get what they want us to do now. Right now I'm learning this as part of a school project, but obviously this could be used at a job and everything like that. For my personal projects, I'm not really too sure if any of them would be useful for this. Like you could do this with some of them. Actually, I was describing this before, that I was like thinking about setting up something like this to test in a bunch of different environments, but right now I don't really have anything that I think I'd immediately integrate this into. I think that's right. Okay, cool. All right. This has been a long time coming, so I apologize to all you guys that have lost it with me. Okay, so supposedly in the boxes program, so like GNOME boxes, I guess. Start typing in here. No. Can't you like? Isn't GNOME like supposed to be like very keyboard friendly in that part of it? You not search? Oh my goodness. Well, I guess not. Oh. Oh my god, I just killed it. Yeah, makefile could be done to do a lot of this sort of stuff, really, when you think about it. Like the idea of it is that like you'd have like a program, like the idea of how it would do it is automating all this sort of stuff, and then you'd like run make test or something like that to get all that sort of stuff done. Like the unit testing framework for the language would also work and everything like that. But yeah, like a makefile would still need to be automated on top of that to do it on every commit. And so that's kind of the idea behind this. So like you could still use a makefile for this. Which is, I don't know, I probably wouldn't do that for all my projects, but anything like non-production, like that would be pretty reasonable. But this like automates setting up like your whole environment too. So like testing. So for example, like running a makefile just on any server is not going to work the same on everything else. So you can automate, like, for example, if you wanted to test on like Fedora, you'd use like a setup like this to have it testing it all for you. Make sure that it all runs as you'd expect on like the newest release of Fedora, or maybe like an old release of CentOS that still you want to support or something. That's kind of an example of how you'd set it up. Okay. So now I need to find GNOME boxes. Boxes. Oh, finally. Okay. So I'm running a VM within a VM within my browser. Seems kind of silly, but whatever. Okay. Oh, this is terrible. Look at how slow behind my mouse that is. All right. Well, it's not like this is meant to be a perfect experience, anyways. All right, and then oh yeah, I forgot that it's still gonna pass all my a bunch of my keys through. Open up a terminal. It's kind of ironic that we're running a newer version of Ubuntu on a CentOS on top of. I'm assuming like this like the hardware that this is running on is not running CentOS because CentOS is no longer supported. So it's got to be like probably an Ubuntu server running a CentOS VM, running running yet another virtual machine inside that's running Ubuntu right here. And then okay. And then what do I want to do now? I'm pretty sure those are literally just right. Run. What? There we go. I got an error that they were talking about before. I take it back. This whole setup would probably be easier to do in a make file. Used by another. Interesting. Kind of think. Okay. In use by another container. What is going on? Oh my god. This is just so silly. Oh my god. Bigger. Days ago. I'm so. This is okay. Well, I really don't want to have to like look at these files inside of this. Should make it. Oh, you were right. Control. All right. Let's see. Oh, so this really just seems silly. This should have just been a make file or anything else. Huh. Okay. Well, I guess we'll just try that again. What's the worst that can happen? Shouldn't change, yeah. Let's just try the next command that they told us to run. Let's see if this works. Okay, well, I guess that means that it's set up. Now what that actually means, who knows? Oh my goodness. This seems really sad. Okay. Now that's set up. I guess it'll tell me what to do from here, I'm hoping. Mm-hmm. Oh. It's annoying that it's like catching all my... Oh. Are these the instructions from your university? Yeah, those are the instructions from my university. Here, I'll turn my screen key back on. It's really annoying that it's like absorbing my super key, because now when I'm trying to like do stuff, okay, this isn't gonna work on my local host, I'm assuming. But okay, I'm just gonna take this off screen so I can like have these side by side and not struggle with the this setup. I'll bring it back in just a sec, don't worry. Actually, I have a better idea. Let's go. Oh, it's still gonna absorb it. Okay. Just localhost 80. Will it pass this? Okay, well, whatever. I guess I'll just type it in by hand. it's supposed to just be localhost 80. Can ports even be that? Okay, yeah. There we go. This is what we're looking for. All right, and then okay, password. This makes a bit more sense. Sure. This seems like a bad idea. Let's just. Okay, I'm not gonna. I feel like this isn't gonna matter, but just in case this comes up later, I'm just gonna move this off screen and kill screen key. Sorry for all you guys that are like, oh my goodness, is this really necessary? But better safe than sorry, you know? What is going on? Oh my goodness. Maybe I'm just gonna set this up on my actual system, because this just seems to be like a huge mess trying to do this the way it's set up. Trying to think of like a better way to do this. This might just be better to do on my actual system, but I'm like kind of nervous running, because like, don't you need to run Docker as root? And I feel like that like sounds fine, but I feel like I really just like, I am nervous like doing that sort of thing from my system, if I don't know enough about it. Okay. Well, I'm gonna try and set up all this stuff, and then if all goes well, then I'll continue. Otherwise, Jenkins is pretty easy to set up without Docker. Yeah, but I kind of like, I don't really know how they're planning on having us submit this, and we have to use it for future projects too. If I was just doing this myself, I probably wouldn't go through this strange roundabout way of setting it all up. But now I'm in this weird situation where I actually have no idea what it used as the default username, which isn't good. Like, I feel like it was admin, but it's apparently not, which is not good. Um, let's just see. Maybe, I guess, I don't know. Pretty poggers. Thanks. Well, now I'm doing something completely unrelated that I'm clearly not doing very good at. I guess I have to, do I actually have to sign up, or does it like, I don't know, I have no idea about like self-hosting GitLab. So that's kind of like, that's where most of this struggle is coming from, setting up GitLab. So if anyone that's self-hosted GitLab knows the actual procedure to this, but I'm sure the actual documentation that my university gave me maybe covers this. I don't know. The initial setup. Oh my god. Oh. Alright. Oh, nice, we're good. Okay. I need to try and make sure that I don't use my like cute browser bindings in this. That's what's like caused me to have to restart twice now, is because I'll hit like capital H to go back in the browser, but I'll actually just kill my VM. Or not really kill my VM, but it'll leave the VM. Is part of my issue. So I think this is supposed to be root according to the instructions. No? That's exactly what I just said. Oh my goodness me. Oh. I feel like I should have just set this up on my actual system. This is so silly. I'm disgraced. BTW, how come? Oh, wait. Jenkins is pretty easy. Brody and Gavin are secret lovers. From afar, maybe. Alright, let's open up boxes again. Let's open up the VM. I think most of the reason there's crossover is just because we make semi-similar content. Also, I said lovers from afar because I was obviously joking. I'm not. Well, yeah, I'm serious. Who knows? But I say that because he's like all the way out in Australia. All right. Well, now I'm still in the same situation where I have no idea what the default. Okay. If this is supposed to be root according to the instructions, but it is not update. Okay, maybe I think I might know the issue actually. You know what? Maybe it's not going to matter that you guys are about to see this password. But okay, cool. You can't see it. Is my screen key on? No, it's not. Okay. Oh my god, I've already forgotten the order of things. Okay. Is it gonna let me sign in? Yes. Alright, save that. I don't care. Oh no, I'm not in Australia. That's why I said from afar. I'm in Canada, up north. At least if you're in America, I guess. In some places, I guess you wouldn't say up north. So very far, very distant. Oh. Okay. Okay. Well, let's go back to the instructions now that we're at least in. These instructions probably should have taken no time, but apparently I'm just like taking the mad incompetence levels. Dude, just compile a new browser to fix it. Easy. I could maybe I should just like set up a custom binding for this URL just to prevent me from ever hitting back. Okay. At least it seems pretty straightforward. But I've also said that before, and now we're barely anywhere into this case. Set up an SSH. BTW, why is your VM in your browser? Because this is how my university suggested. Well, I kind of like just followed the steps that my university suggested, but now I'm like, I should have just ran this either on a local VM or that's probably it, actually. Just like run it on my local system or something. But so now I'm not just running a VM in a browser. I'm running my browser, and then inside of my browser, I'm running a VM, and then inside of the VM, inside of my browser, I'm running a separate VM, and then that's where I'm doing all this. So that's why there's a bunch of key binding struggles going on, because I'm running a VM within a browser, which is just stupid. It's so silly. Lots of layers for no reason. Okay, I guess I'll try and do this SSH key pair thing. I don't really know how this is gonna. I guess I don't really know if they like want us to use the SSH key pair from the VM or like our own SSH key pair. But who knows? Or our own SSH keys. Yeah, just set up a local Ubuntu server. Yeah, or VM. I agree. That would probably have been the better option. But at this point, I'm far enough in that I feel like it's fine. Especially because like they have it set up with like, I don't really know. This isn't the current, like this is using Bionic Beaver still, which is still an older version of Ubuntu anyways. So it's not really like it's going to be that much better anyways. I'm just going to assume they want us to do this all inside of the VM within the VM. At least that's what I'm hoping. Okay, so you got that, and then we go. Oh, this is just so finicky. Okay. I'm just being a wuss though. I should just get over it. Okay. Now where do you go on GitHub to put GitLab to put it? Whatever. Okay, first things first. How do I open a new terminal? Because I can't really suspend this. They're not like, doesn't GNOME terminal have like all these silly extra features in it? Shouldn't you be able to new tab? There we go. That's what I'm looking for. Okay, so Bionic Beaver is still quite common, so that's good. Maybe I'll just do that after the stream, because at this point I've come this far, I might as well at least see. Okay. What is it? Is it keygen? Is that the command I'm looking for? Or wait, no. Keygen. Okay. Nobody saw that. Actually, I don't really know if that actually holds my information. I assume it does. But honestly, I should probably know more about this than I really do. Okay, and then it says I want to make. Oh wait, no, I need to. So this is kind of the struggle of trying to do the stream and trying to show you guys everything, because now I've got like the issue of this like weird VM setup, which I guess I'll just move to its own tag. And then now I've got to find out where I go. Okay, so I guess it's just under account in GitLab. Settings. Yeah, I thought about just like control Zing it. I just like suspending it, but I don't know. I was kind of like, I know like some programs just like are, well, I'd probably expect that it can actually handle that fine. Considering that Jenkins, I'm sure, is like a recent enough program that should be able to do it. But well, actually, I feel like it's more often recent programs that don't handle suspending very well. Yeah. All right. Let's just try control Zing. I mean, suspending it and see. Okay, suspended, and then we do BG. Wait, do you do this? Okay. And then, in theory, that should be fine. Oh. They're not going to pass that through? Oh wait, I want to do... Okay, wait. I have Docker running. Oh, what's running inside of Docker? Oh, I guess it's just the... Yeah, okay. You know what? I'm just going to play it safe and just do this. I'm probably just being overly cautious. Oh yeah, jobs. I was like, what's the command I'm thinking of? Okay, we're all good. Does middle clicking? No. Control D won't pass through. Okay. Close this terminal. Let's just hope that goes all good. I just like double as worried about things going wrong on stream. Usually I would just be fine with something going wrong. Well, you know what? At this point, I don't know if I can really be worried about things going wrong. Disown Docker. Oh. Well, we'll find out in a sec. I guess if it's still... Let's see if... Wait, what? What did I do? Oh, wait. Wait. Oh. Wait. That's like so confusing looking at a VM with... Okay. Sorry, that like really messed with me. Yeah, because we have... Wow, that was so confusing for a second there. I was like, what? Did I just kill it? No, I'm just looking at the VM within the VM. I'm sure people watching this are like, what is going on? And then, I don't think it's gonna really matter, but just in case, let's just be safe and not show SSH keys. Well, that was just stupid. Why did I do that? Whatever. You guys have pretty much seen it already, but doesn't really... I don't think it's really going to end up mattering later on, but just in case they... Actually, that was... Oh my goodness. That was a bit awkward, but it's at least been added. What do you need the second VM for? I don't need it. The reason that this is all set up like this is just because I was following the university's steps. Not really because I particularly wanted to do it this way. Don't worry. I can agree that this setup is really terrible. I'd rather have just set this up on my actual system, but sadly I was not too sure how this was going to be going. And now I have a much better idea of how it's gonna go, and that is not well. So far, at least. Okay, let's look at the docs. Generating an SSH key pair, adding an SSH key already. Done. Create a response. Oh my God. This setup. I'm like really regretting the way that I'm doing this now. But whatever. Like the reason that it's set up the way it is because I'm running this. So my university servers are like they told us to access the one through Guacamole, which is what we're using for our I guess you'd call it like VNC. It's not really, I don't know if it's actually official. It's like technically VNC, but I feel like I guess it is. Is like, yeah, they told us to connect like that, and then I just followed the steps from there, which ended up having us connect to another virtual machine inside of there that's set up already. And by set up already, they mean it has 2 files in there that sets up Docker for us. So not Not really anything special, but whatever. Okay. Okay, let's go ahead and new project. Okay, from a blank project. I finally made it to a stream. Well, you made it to a pretty uneventful stream. This is mostly just watching me struggle to set up CICD, like continuous integration with GitLab for like a university class. Okay. Let's just say like I guess we make it private. I don't really know if it matters, but I guess considering that they had us, I guess it doesn't matter if it was private in the end, actually. Oh, I'm gonna have to set up all my better than nothing. Pretty fair. I don't know how much longer I'll stick on stream. I'll probably go till like the 2-hour mark. I think I'll probably cut out. Okay, we don't need to be showing that SSH key. Cancel. Let's just. Okay. Okay, and then I need to. You guys are just getting to watch me struggle to. Oh, did I just make this in my? Oh my god. You guys are getting to watch me struggle to set up continuous integration through like 2 different levels of VMs inside of a browser, for what seems to be practically no reason. Okay. And then I guess I have to like make. Would I just change the upstream? I don't know if that's a good idea. Well, we'll find out in a sec. So now, I guess I'll just find the other project now. Because I could probably just type in the URL. Whatever. It's not really that big of a deal. Okay. So then. Oh, that was really stupid to have cloned it to here. Now I just have that directory. Okay. Could I just move? Whatever. Let's just not. Oh my god. I accidentally just killed the tab again. Oh my god. This is a sad time for me. The most ineffective setup I've ever had to use for this, but whatever. It is what it is. I can't talk too poorly about my university for insisting that we went this route. I'm sure they probably would be fine with us just doing it on our local systems, honestly. Now it's taking a while to log in. Probably just angry at me for the way that I did this. Oh, I just had another tab. All right. Yeah, I think it might just be faster. I don't know. I just don't want to set up a VM for Ubuntu, but it might just be worth it. Ah, whatever. All right, let's just do it. Like, one of the reasons that I didn't want to do this also is because I don't know how my stream is going to handle me running a VM. How am I running those VMs? I'm running them, so I'm running them through my university's server instead of running it locally, which I guess is good in the fact that like the stream is not taking a big hit from me running the server. But at the same time, this is like clearly getting just way too frustrating to deal with. Just get a VPS real quick. I haven't set up a VPS. I haven't, I guess I could just get a VPS, yeah. I just do that right now. Well, we'll just, now I'm like questioning. Okay. Well, we'll find out. Ubuntu ISO. I guess we'll find out in a sec if my computer can stream while I'm running a virtual machine, because that'll be pretty helpful for the future, I guess. Except I'm gonna do this. Sure, whatever. Download. Probably should have just used a torrent. Now I'm thinking of it. Whatever, that'll just take a sec. And then next, I feel like I'll just give it more RAM because it's not like I really use that much of it. I don't know why I'm worrying about this so much. All right, and then we wait a bit for that ISO to be downloaded. Yeah, like at least the VM will be pretty quick to set up. I could just get a VPS. I'm like kind of considering that. The only thing is that I really don't want to pay money just to do this assignment, but also like I'm paying money to, I don't know. It just seems silly. There we go. All right, so you got that. Click setting. I think there's like a faster way to. I really need to like. I don't know. I think there's a faster way to do it. This is how I've done it. This is how I've like set it up since the beginning. Just do that. It will be cheaper than single book for uni. Oh, than like a textbook. Dude, you gotta look up libgen, man. All good. If you use that. Is it? Okay. Yeah. Atom, or atomic toast, I guess. Atom toast. Look up like lib.gen, I think is what it is. Yeah. Just look that up. I'm not gonna drop a link because I feel like that's not okay, but you know what I mean. Just look it up and that saves me a lot of money. Saves my life as a cheapskate. Sometimes. I don't condone anything though. I don't condone doing anything, ever. Text on my laptop. What I have to use because my desktop monitor. You probably come across it by accident, even if you just from like I don't know. I feel like that just like comes up all the time in my university's like Discord. Yeah, I haven't actually had to use Sci-Hub before. But well, I just dropped. That's not my location. I am in Australia. Same. You see, this is why, like, if I just did distro reviews, my life would be so chill. No, I'm not actually Australian. I just said that. I'm not actually. I'm Canadian. I just said that to mess with people. Doxed. Yeah. I'm Nordic. Actually, I've been told I look Swedish before, which I think that's just when I wear like sporty glasses. I think people think I look Swedish because I'm like blonde. Except I don't really think I look blonde on camera. Do I look blonde on camera? Who knows? No, he's from the Arctic. All right. I'm not gonna lie, the Ubuntu install is a lot faster than I feel like I imagined it being. It's been a while. Yeah, no. I feel like I'd be a lot more tan if I was in Australia right about now. Nice and summery. You do look Swedish. You do look somewhat Swedish. I also get I feel like I like get told I look German, but I think that's purely because I'm blonde hair, blue eyes. And I think they're usually joking. Oh. Oh. What are you guys up to today while we wait for this install to finish? How's the stream? Is the stream handling this all good? It seems to be doing fine, actually. I haven't seen... Nobody seems to be dropping off, so... Seems like it's not having too much trouble running the VM so far. Yeah, I probably could have done the non-graphical install. I kind of just grabbed the first ISO. Probably would have not been necessary. In fact, it probably would have saved me a lot of time if I had just gone with the server install. Now I'm like, wow, this was so stupid. Yeah, I am like part German, so it would make a lot more sense. Now I'm like, oh my god, why didn't I just grab the server install? This would have been faster. Oh well, on the off chance I need a Ubuntu VM, I guess this will be faster. Have you tried KVM before? I was trying to set up a gaming VM through VPU. Yeah, I've never, well, I like looked at KVM, but I never really went through setting it up, mostly just because I don't use VMs very often, personally. Writing in LaTeX, sad graph noises. What do you actually do with Plan 9? Not very much right now. I haven't really done too much with it recently. Yeah. That's pretty much my answer. I've done like mostly just like small development stuff just to play around with. Most of it's just for like inspiration stuff, honestly, of what I've used Plan 9 for. Yeah. I don't know. I'm trying to think of like what I've really used Plan 9 specifically for. There's some stuff on like a lower level, like namespaces in Plan 9 still are like substantially better than what you can get with Linux. I have to use LaTeX for my class. Oh, dude, just install LaTeX fonts and pretend that you're using LaTeX. I'm just joking. That's pretty rough. I don't know. I don't think LaTeX is really all bad. Like, it does have its benefits, does have its cons. I just hate having such a big thing installed all the time if all I'm using it for is like small stuff. And all my documents that I write, I don't really need it for. Yeah, I don't know. I think like Plan 9 could be useful for, okay, this is taking a bit longer than I expected. I thought it was almost done. Yeah, I don't know. I don't really know if there's any reason to like switch to it or anything. I don't think there's really anybody that exclusively uses, like there are people that like kind of use Plan 9 as their main OS, but even then there's still trade-offs that they have to make. And sadly, like I was saying this before in my Discord, that like Plan 9 port is like really great, but parts of it feel like they kind of, like the port doesn't feel like it works either way. Like, I don't know, I feel like some things needed to be ported to be a slight bit more Unixy just to make it work with Plan 9, because a lot of things like just pretty much don't work now in Plan 9 port purely because they tried to like make this like little shim of a Plan 9 setup. So I went straight from LibreOffice Writer to Graph. Nice. That's quite the upgrade. Yeah, I've used like LaTeX a little bit. The big reason that I started using Graph, one of the big things that got me to switch, one of them was because I was writing my resume, and I was like gonna write it in LaTeX, but I was like, man, do I really want to install LaTeX just to write my resume and add changes to it? And then that was one of the things that got me into looking into Graph. And then the other one was like I was taking a math class and I was trying to write all my math notes in LaTeX, and that was just like, I'm sure if you use snippets and stuff, it'd be possible, but man, it is very, very slow to do. Trying to type it out by hand. So you need like a pretty crazy setup. And I have seen like there are some people like on Reddit and stuff like that that have made articles about how they do their setup for it. And some of them are like pretty impressive, like pretty crazy stuff. But yeah, I would just much rather use like EQN, which is really fast compared to that. Also, like trying to like preview what you're doing in LaTeX is like so time consuming that it's like not really worth it. Oh, the stream's like getting a bit choppy now, isn't it? But yeah, that's kind of like where I'm at with that. Math notes in Writer are basically impossible. I believe it. I couldn't imagine. The one thing that I really like about... Oh man, okay. The stream's taking a tank. I have a feeling that you guys have no idea what I'm saying right now. Yeah, speed is a big thing. Being able to like actually see your notes as you write them is so nice. Yeah, Ubuntu is killing the stream, lol. Sounds like it's almost done.